Hey, how's it going, guys? This is your boy Hazzed, and today we're going to be going over a special request, going over the Warlock guide. You guys have been wanting it. You guys have been asking about it, so basically I'm going to show you exactly what I use on my Destruction Warlock for my montages and things like that. Basically what I call the Chaos Bolt Cannon spec. If you want to push rating, I don't suggest using this, but if you want to two-shot people in PGs and go like 20-0, 40-0, this is the way to do it, guys. Before we can do anything, guys, we need to know what talents we're using. Basically, for the level 15 talent, we're going to be using Searing Flames, which is going to add to everything we do, basically creating our Destro Warlock as a survival hero, as well as a complete Chaos Bolt Cannon. Level 30 talent, we're going to be running Shadow Fury, which basically is just going to be your massive AoE stun. It's pretty cool, great for peeling, great for hitting DPS and healers. You know, just like a whole clump of people, just BAM! And it's absolutely amazing for that. Let's see, level 45, I'm going to be using Soul Link. Why? Because it adds into everything that, builds together. Like I was saying, it's going to increase your health, which is going to make it like 2 to 300k plus higher in BGs and things like that. Level 60, we're going to be running Blood Whore. Why? Because this ability is absolutely amazing for pre-planning when you need to peel off yourself, which is going to happen a lot because Desert Warlocks tend to get focused really hard compared to most other classes. Level 75, I'm running Grimoire Sacrifice. Why am I running Grimoire Sacrifice? Because of, like I said before, it's going to increase your health pool to increase the Searing Flames, which is going to be a lot of healing in the end. And basically, it's also going to enhance your Chaos Bolt damage to deal, 25% more damage, which is going to make those bolts really, really big and going to enable you to basically two-shot most people. The level 90 talent is going to be Archie's Darkness. Why? Because that's going to give you 2 charges of cooldowns. That's OP, guys. 2 charges of cooldowns. This ability is also going to play in the bigger picture of things later on when a glyph is going to increase it more. And the level 100 talent, which plays into just about everything, basically makes your conflagrate deal 50% less damage, but generate 200% more, embers. So, we really need that. Why do you need that one, guys? Basically, that's going to be how you lay out your Chaos Bolts. You need embers for a Chaos Bolt. So you have 1 ember, 1 Chaos Bolt. You have 1 ember, that is 1 ember tap for the heal that you're going to need for taking damage. So that really comes into play with everything else. Of course, the Searing tap, increased health, and it all just plays into a big rotation to how Destruction plays together. As for the talents, guys, basically I'm running Glyph of Havoc, which lets you have 6 charges instead of 3, so you can lob off 2 Chaos Bolts to 2 different targets and deal quite a bit of damage. This also lets you basically screw healers. Healers just get screwed by this talent. So funny if you lay it on a DPS and healer. The other thing we're using, of course, like I said before, Dark Soul Glyph, which basically reduces the duration on the cooldown of Dark Soul, which is going to allow you to blow cooldowns a lot faster than usual. Basically, after you use the first one, it goes on a minute cooldown, and by the time the minute's up, you have another set of CDs, which is going to cause your Chaos Bolts again to be huge. The last one I'm using is Glyph of Ember Tap. Now, you could be using other things to, more peels, things like that. But I'm running the Glyph of Ember Tap for more heals, just because I like to really stay alive and go for that Live Lord status on a Destruction Warlock for BGs and things like that. Now, let's go jump over to the rotation, guys, now that we know what talents and glyphs we're using. We also need to discuss a little further into Grimoire Sacrifice about what pets you should use. Basically, if you're planning on globaling healers, planning on focusing healers, you're going to want to go with the Silence, or fighting casters, of course, you want to go with the Silence so you can command Demon Spelllock. Or a lot of the time you'll see me go Voidwalker, and when you sacrifice your Voidwalker, basically it allows you to gain 30% of your health, which is going to increase your healing abilities, and of course, like Ember Tap and things like that, which is going to increase the effectiveness of them. But that's about it for sacrificing demons. Those are the 2 I like to use. Some people like to go Succubus, keep them out for a long time, and then sacrifice them before burst to go for it, which is a cool strat to do. But that's about what I like to use. And yeah, let's jump over to DPS. So let's start out. How are you going to open on the character? Basically, with a Warlock, the first thing you want to do is immolate. After that, I'm going to throw out a quick conflagrate just to get 3 quick incinerates to generate a lot of ember. So basically, if you have 2 embers, you can basically dual full burst on 2 different targets and go for chaos bolts. That's going to be, your opening basic burst for blowing some people up. The more embers you have, the more chaos bolts you can do. I mean, it's a pretty simple rotation, guys. Also, your conflagrates will increase the speed of your chaos bolts. Like if you have 3, it'll make that next chaos bolt a lot faster for burst. That's if you want to deal a lot more single target pressure. It could also work for the dual targets to hit them a lot faster. But as for actual rotation, there isn't really a set rotation, guys. It's however you can generate your embers the fastest. And once you get embers, guys, you can basically, just blow somebody up with chaos bolts. Now, one of the things is you're going to get focused a lot as Destro. And if you want to take an interrupt using your fire abilities. Force them to interrupt your incinerates. And as soon as they interrupt that, you can basically go ham with chaos bolts. Now, it's going to be one of the hardest things with playing a Warlock is getting focused, so it does take a lot of pre-planning, so we're going to go over some of the abilities to peel off yourself or to stay alive. Now, let's say a rogue's interrupting or about to open on you. Now, this is where pre-planning comes in with blood horror, guys. Now, a rogue's going to open up on you. You know he's going to open on you. You blood horror. Basically, that means when he opens up, he's going to instantly get feared, foiling a rogue's opener, and everyone knows the most damage the rogue's going to deal is on the opener. It also works for druids and anything else that's in the stealth. That pre-planned. It also works for melee classes if you know they're going to open up on you in, any of the short region. The other thing is, guys, peels. Summon portal. Yeah, portal. One of the most OP things you could ever use if you pre-plan it correctly. Let's say it's a warrior, he's about to charge you. He uses his charge. Bam! We pour it. We also use our heal, and then we just LOS and run away. Basically buying time. The more time you buy, the better off it's going to be for you on a Warlock when you're LOSing and hiding. Until you actually manage to get your bolts, in which case when you're bursting, as I said before, you really want to try and get it on another target. Granted, you can use Unlending Resolve during burst to make it so you can't get interrupted, and that's what you see me doing a lot in BGs and stuff when I'm setting up my big burst, is to make it so I can't actually get interrupted, and you can get off those giant damaging abilities. And of course, like I said before, Shadow Fury can hit multiple targets, all 3 targets done. BAM! Simply put, guys. Now, how do you chain fear together? How often do you use fear? Of course, if there's a healer, you're going to be using on that. Or you're simply going to be fearing your kill target. Now, how do you fear your kill target? Well, if it's coming at you, guys, you catch it in a fear. This is going to give you an opportune time to Chaos Bolt. And right as that Chaos Bolt's flying, you hit him with another fear. Then you can hit him with another Chaos Bolt. Now, you can line the other abilities into it. Of course, the stun and blood horror and stuff like that. But the main thing with dealing damage as a Destro is finding the openings to do that. Finding the openings to get those Chaos Bolts off. Because nobody wants you to get those Chaos Bolts. Nobody in the whole BG. The other thing is, guys, for a main rotation on Destro in a BG, you really got to get a lot of embers to deal a lot of damage and get a lot of killing blows. Now, the way you do that is you always want to keep at least like 1 ember around for the shadow burns, finishers on targets. It's basically your execute, guys. And with that execute, you're going to land a lot of killing blows. That's why in my battlegrounds I tend to go like 20 plus killing blows on my Destro on average because of shadow burn, and I usually always land the kill because I want those embers really bad to Chaos Bolt people again. Because the more Chaos Bolts you send out, the more chance you're going to be able to shadow burn something and get a finisher and then generate more embers again. So it's a big healthy rotation, guys, and that's how you're going to go about that. That's going to be about it for the rotation wise. Of course, healing is pretty straightforward. You just use 1 ember, throw the hot on, and you kite somebody out. I mean, it's healing for 16k ticks. That's pretty beastly. That's a lot of healing, especially if you just pointed and your LOS to something. But that should really just be about it for the Destro Chaos Cannon spec. I don't know what you want to call it, guys. But I don't suggest pushing arena rating on this or anything. My character's armor on this is basically just mastery stacking as hard as possible, just to maximize Chaos Bolt damage. I'm really just following just a simple way of doing things. I'm not trying to create a new meta or anything like that for this, guys. This is just how I blow people up on my Warlock. You guys wanted to know, so I answered that question. Anyways, guys, until next time, this was your boy Hazzed.